What's up, gang? In this video we got two Megatouches. They are Evos. I think that's how you say it. It is EVO. This one is a Force 2009. This one's not marked, so I'm not sure. Between the two of these, they have almost every single problem I've run into with Megatouches, except for hard drive issues so far. Guess we'll find that out once we get going through it. I've already dug into this one pretty far, and I'm pretty sure that this one we can get up and running in this video. This one we may have to part out a little bit, but it's possible we can get them both going. I haven't completely ruled it out yet. But stick around. If you have any problems with these, and it's not hard drive related, I can probably show you in this video what's going on. So stick around, and we'll fix this up.
I'm Walter Day, the father of esports, and you're watching Cmos Arcade. I'm getting ready to attack. Fanny pack attached. Tokens are all stacked. Got the mallet in my grasp. Waiting for the moles, hiding in their holes. Score, we're keeping tally. I'll be playing till they close now. Can't nobody beat my high score. You can't beat my high score. Can't nobody beat my high score. You can't beat my high score. I'm a mallet master, a single-fisted blaster. You can ask my baby, it starts slow then gets faster. I'm a record setter.
I'm going to start with this one here. Let me make sure this is a better view. Okay, so just like always, want to start at power and move from there, because the game, neither one were coming on when we started. This one definitely is not at the moment. So I got the power cord. It's gonna plug in down here, and there's basically a spot to plug it in like this, and then there's a switch next to it. Now, it wasn't getting power. I could plug into this, and no power was coming. Well, I checked at the power supply wasn't coming on. So I knew if the power supply wasn't coming on, we weren't getting any power. And I was able to check. I did check all the way back to here eventually, and I was getting power there. So I was thinking maybe the switch was bad. And you can listen. That's not too bad. It sounds like crusty and really squeaky. And so I checked continuity on it. And sometimes it would have continuity and sometimes it wouldn't. And sometimes this game would power up and sometimes it wouldn't. And sometimes it would just kind of do it on its own. And then it had other issues. So the first thing I did was I yanked that. And I haven't done a permanent solution for it yet. But there's another one from this game on the inside of here. Now, sorry, I had to burp. I just drank a huge drink of hot Coke. Okay. So now we get into the inside, which had to drill it out. This has been kind of a fun one. This is a pain in the butt because once you open it up, it's kind of in two parts and it wants to just fall everywhere. Okay. Okay, so I got the back on there. So here's the motherboard here, and we have this. This is the power cord that was plugged in here. And I pulled the board just to look it over. Kind of, it's still really dirty. Cleaned it off and checked just kind of like what the board looked like. And I'm going to go grab that here in 1 second. But the board, it had actually quite a few bulging caps on it. The battery on it was not putting out any voltage. I think it was like 0.02 or something like that. And so that had to be replaced. Let's see, here is the power cord and stuff. I just have it kind of sitting here right now. I don't want to steal anything from anyone just yet until I know which one I'm going to be able to get working. So I'm going to show you what the original board looks like. You see there's kind of a hot spot here. This is the board out of this one. This one was much better. Well, it was still dirty and stuff. It also had a dead battery, so I replaced that. I pulled the power supply from this machine because I thought, now that I had got power all the way up and I thought through to here and I wasn't getting any power, I thought this was the problem. It turned out to be this this, I haven't pulled it all the way out here. Let me see that. Yeah, so it just runs just from here down to the switch and the power receptacle. And it's somewhere along the path, it's got a short in it. So I was able to just, once again, steal another power cord from another game, and I just ran it straight to here instead of cutting it through all this, and the game powered up. But let's take a break real fast. I want to show you what that board looked like, how to do the battery, where it's at, how to change it, and then I'll open this one actually, and I'll show you kind of how to get it out of there and what it looks like. But there's only like 4 screws, and this one's not all the way in. Oh, this one actually from right here, I think there's only 2. There's like one here and one here, and it's really hard to get back in. But you take it off, the board kind of slides in a little groove, and then it snaps down, and there's just all this crap everywhere. There's fans back here that if they hit the wiring, it's like, and, you know, of course, you're probably cutting up something you need. But everything is good to go now. I have the battery replaced, and then when I fire it up, we're getting errors because we need to reprogram it because it has a new battery. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that too. But like I said, let me grab that other board, and then we'll take a look at it, and I'll show you why I knew we needed one. Okay, so here's your board, and it will be in the machine just like this, and there'll be a backing on it that just is kind of held on. It looks like it's held on by screws, but it's not, just by the little tabs in the corner. So our problem was power. No power. I changed the power supply, find out the power supply is good, so that's not it. The other 2 things it's going to be are bad motherboard or dead battery. So the first thing that I'm going to do is pull this out. Now there is a way to change the battery and not pull the board all the way out, but this one's never been maintenanced, so it has to be done. If you just want to pull the board out enough to do the battery, it's going to be like this. You're going to take your 2 screws out and kind of fold it back on the machine, and the battery is like right here. So if you take this nut off here, and I think there's one over here on this other side there. If you take those off, you can lift it enough to change that battery. But you basically want to check it for blown caps too, which that'll need to come off. So I am going to take this off here. I just got this kind of hand tightened. This thing, it had, like I said, it had blown caps everywhere. It was pretty obvious as soon as I started looking at it that it was going to have to be capped. And unfortunately, I don't have, one of them was like 150 microfarad. I don't have any that are that size. And I don't think this is going to be one of those things where you can just, throw in a different size microfarad, whereas typically the rule is never, but sometimes in some situations, like in messing with the width and stuff of some monitors, you can. Now this thing has a ton of connections, and you're probably not going to remember them if you don't take lots and lots of pictures. This isn't even all of them what I'm doing here. There's several that are on the machine too. Some of them are really a pain in the butt to get off of here. But also I want to point out that this right here that you see, it looks like a battery holder. It's probably some kind of thing with the security key. I don't know personally, or offhand right at the moment to tell you. I didn't look that part up. But that is not the battery. If you put a battery there, it's not going to help you any, that I know of anyway. Oh, there is a nut on there. I didn't think there was. I'm blind. Okay, I'll back this out a little bit. These, I think, usually these are surface mount, but I do have some that are that silver color and in that package that are through hole. But if they're surface mount, I definitely don't have those either. But for this one, I can get the parts in while I'm fixing the other one, hopefully, if it's fixable. Let me see if I can pull this off while I got my face a little closer. There we go. Come on out of there, come on. Okay. So this is this guy. Let's take a look at it. Underneath this one, there's a connector right there that was ripped out. This is just loose because the screws aren't tight. So the wires were ripped out of that underneath there. So you have to remember, you know, when you take all this off, you need to take these two screws off, and then you need to really carefully try to pull that out. It's really not that difficult. I guess they probably try to pull it by the wires, and they're really, really small, so not a good idea. So these look like, yeah, they are surface mount. You can see the silver tabs kind of on each side, which I have the stuff to do that. I just don't have. I have very, very few caps. So we're not going to be able to work on this one. There's lots of jumpers here too. I don't think we have to, oh, that's why I was pulling this. This is where your calibrate and your setup switch are. I looked everywhere whenever I was first messing with this over at John's house, and it is actually, you had to pull that board back. Let's see, it's like this down here. So it would have been, you'd have taken the board out halfway, you know, flipped it down, and then they would have been here, and then we could have calibrated, because we had another one. It pretty much worked. It was just really, really gross. And but we couldn't calibrate it. It wouldn't read our fingers anywhere near the right spots. So let's see. I think there was one right in here that I noticed first. Let me see. Let me look at it. Oh, I think it was. Yeah, I think here. Oh, they don't look that bad. Those are okay. Oh, there is that one right there is it's domed. You can kind of see it. They all, oh yeah, they are. That one there, I can feel it now. This one's a lot worse. Let's see if I can get the right angle on it. See, it's definitely domed. It's not to the point where it's popping, but it's popcorning. And we check these. This guy in between these two things is always bad. Let's see. And that one was domed. And that looks like that's it. But we want to change those before we throw this in the other one. And even after I fix this one that we're working on, I am going to pull it and cap it. But I keep losing. Okay. So let's see where the caps are. Like here's one. Just want to show you what the points look like. So that's the cap there. And as you can see, you need a really fine tip soldering iron, or fine tip for your soldering iron. And you want to watch your heat. These suck. If this is, I'm not sure that this is, but if it's through hole, usually these motherboards, I hate soldering on them. I have all kinds of equipment, and my technique is just horrible for these things. Just need to practice more. But I'll get some practice on these, that's for sure. But let's go ahead and throw this aside. Oh, well, I'm showing you. Here's the battery. So it's just got like a little thing that, one of these. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna just kind of push it this way, and it'll lift up and out of there. And then I bet the little Cmos Clearing thing is one of these. Right here. I'll look at it, and on the sides here, they usually will have a key for the those little jumper positions, and one of them will be a spot to clear the Cmos settings, which is what we're going to do when we put a new battery in. And then we are actually going to get into the settings with a keyboard and adjust them so that they're proper, so that it boots up properly again. But I'm not going to waste a whole bunch of time looking at that. But that's where that is. And once again, this will be sitting like this. And then the board will be up like this in the machine. So you just pull it straight down. And if you're trying to keep it in there, like I said, if you just take off these two little nuts and then just kind of lift it up, usually you can get in there to change the battery. So now I'm going to show you what this one looks like put back together. we are gonna, I think that catches you up pretty much now. I've changed the battery in this one. I have got a keyboard. I actually ordered one from Amazon and then finally found one at the same time. So I think we're gonna be able to reset this. I'll show you what it looks like kind of when it comes up and you need a battery, or a lot of times they won't come up at all. And the other thing is most of the time the dollar bill acceptor will come on. It'll turn green down here, and all of that'll work, but nothing else will work. That's normal for this situation. It should normally do it on this one here, but I think it's just disconnected, so it's not working at all. But let's go ahead and stop, take a break, flip this thing open, and then I'll show you what to do after the battery is set in. And then I just want to show you, I'll go ahead and boot it up and we can look at what it looks like when you need to set the settings. That way everybody knows who's watching, if you're on the same page as me, if you're having the same problems. And if you have any other problems that we're not talking about, ask them in the comments. I always try to pay attention, and other people who watch the channel, most of the people are all pretty handy and they'll help you too. All right, be right back. Kind of missed my backdrop area, huh? A little high, like I was gonna be standing up talking every time, and then I put my toolbox in the way. Okay, so now you guys are caught up and we are in the same spot, so now I can screw up and fumble through this with you guys. So we have a new battery in. I don't remember if I cleared the Cmos settings with this. This wasn't on there all the way earlier. This was actually keeping it up. I don't remember if I did that, and I don't remember what error message was on here. So we still could actually have hard drive problems. And so right up here in the corner, this power cord here that went across and plugged into the power supply, that was our actual problem. So right now I just have a power cord run straight up and around and plugged into the wall. And so we're gonna go ahead and see what it says first, since I don't remember, and then we'll go from there and try to troubleshoot. And we do have two machines, so hopefully if it is a hard drive, at least one of the two will work. We'll see though. You never know. Could end up with two bad ones. So I did get my green light this time. I don't think there's may not be a dollar bill acceptor in it. I definitely have to reset the settings in the BIOS menu. So that, I mean, that could have something to do with this too. Maybe it doesn't know where to boot from, which I've had that problem. So that's, I think, probably what I thought it was. We just have to pick the correct spot. This is probably gonna have to sit here for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I didn't think about that part, but I kind of wanted to do it live anyway. That wasn't that bad. Okay, so let me bring this up so everyone can see. Media test failure, that's fine. Okay, disk boot failure. Insert system disk and press enter. Okay, that's kind of what I thought it said. So what we're gonna do, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. My power cord's not really long enough. Okay, and I just want to show you guys this on the back side here. Let me get some light. Okay, kind of. Let's see. Let's drop this down a little bit, just so you kind of can tell where it is. It's in the bottom left corner of the machine if you're looking at it from the back, and there is, man, that handle isn't on there at all. There's a USB spot right there. I think that's the spot where we can hook up a keyboard. I don't think this one needs the PS2 port, but if it does, I have a little converter adapter thing for it, which a customer gave me, a guy that I worked on his Golden Tee in Kansas. Thought that was pretty cool of him. I hadn't seen one, and I run into this problem so often. And so I was like, oh, sweet. Okay, so is it possible that this doesn't even fit in here? It does, but it's super tight. It's kind of weird. Okay, so let's try it again. And we can hit, I think it's delete in the middle of the boot process to interrupt it. And then hopefully in the BIOS menu, I know we're gonna fix the power management. Oops. And aside from power management, we want to check and see where it's booting from. We can also see if the hard drive is good. We can see if the system recognizes it, and if it does, then we know it's good. So we can check that. I hope you're looking at it. Okay. There we go. Still have the same screen. Oh yeah, I'm gonna hit delete. Duh. Where's delete? Okay, so apparently that is not where we want to hit our keyboard. I wanted to start this up and check that first, but you know how it goes. So let's figure out where we're actually supposed to put our keyboard. I'm sure it's probably right on the motherboard, which is a real bad pain. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this. Let me look it up first and look in the manual. That way we're not just blindly sticking this thing somewhere. Maybe it'll boot, maybe it'll boot. Another thing you can check with this is check the IDE cable and make sure it's plugged in on the board and on the hard drive itself. But what I think though is we need to get into the BIOS and then we'll know. All right, so I have it all busted open here, and I'm just kind of checking connections and stuff. I think it's possible that this ribbon cable that was in it before may have been a problem. There's also a problem here on the other one. Let me grab that. Is it handy? Yeah, hang on. Ugh. So, sorry about that. On this one, I don't know, I didn't check for continuity or anything yet. I just saw this. It's really bent and chewed up here at the corners. And it's very possible because this connects here and then runs over and plugs into the hard drive that this wasn't any good. Now that cable that I'm plugging in is different. It's for a different hard drive. So I'm gonna have to try this other hard drive and see if it works. But I just kind of pulled it out, dusted it off again, cleaned all the fans. Just double check these caps just to see if there was any that were like popped. Like there's one that's bulging here. Let me see if I can focus. That's the only one I see out of all of them so far that I've really looked at anyway. But usually there's a bunch that are bulging, so I think it's just starting to be a problem. I was just hoping before I had to pull it all apart and cap it that I could see it boot or something. But it doesn't look that way. I am gonna just kind of put it together and then like look from underneath and see if it boots, but I am gonna go ahead and cap this. But that is the only I should say bulging capacitor that I see. Doesn't mean that they're not other bad ones. But if it does boot, I will we'll look up from underneath the table before I cap it. And then I gotta move on, got a stack of monitors to go tonight. So let's try to see something hopefully really quick. Hallelujah, I finally got it into the BIOS menu. I didn't know if it was my keyboard or like what the problem was. I'll explain all that later, but while we're in here, let's go ahead and try to get this set up before I screw it up and get out of here. So I know we need to do power management. You always have to do that. Oh no. The keyboard only sometimes wants to work. It's like it doesn't have power all the time or something. How do I do this without an up and down? Okay, it says up and down to select item. Let me try to see if I can jump start my keyboard again. See, the caps lock isn't on anymore. Oh, I needed the wrong keyboard. What an idiot. Dirt. That's why I'm part of my problem. Okay, so let's see. Oh, it works. Okay, great. We'll just cut that out. I won't. You know I won't. Power management. We want it to boot after. Where's it at? Send by alarm, board thermal circuit. We got power on. Suspend, HDD power down, suspend type, you off. Okay, so I guess we just go to this one. I didn't see that one. User defined minimum, that ain't what I'm trying to do. Whoops. Let's just check there first. Okay, so here's where we don't have any kind of hard drive showing up here. None here. That's not good. First boot device. Okay, it does have it there. Well, I don't know that that's actually looking for it there. First boot, we do not want CD-ROM. HDD1. It's really kind of a play by ear. Maybe we want to do this HDD0 because that one was 0. And then this one we'll just go to 1. Just in case. Boot up floppy seek. Okay, get rid of all that crap. Okay, I think that's good on this one. How do we save? F10. That'll probably boot us all the way out. No, we don't want to do that yet. Let's go back. If you ever have this supervisor password set on here, or you can't get in the password, it's supposed to start out as 0000, but if they actually set it, you could be screwed. I don't think that helps. This is usually what I have to do, but it's usually whenever it powers down, it's how it powers back up. And you put in previous state or something similar. Maybe it's not in this menu. I seem to think like it was in an odd menu, even though it definitely, you'd think it would be here, right? User defined. That's just power saving. That's not really the same kind of power management I'm looking for. Configurations. No. Health status. This is kind of helpful. Gives our voltages. Good 5 volts, good 12 volts, good negative 12, good negative 5. It's pretty good. No fan, that's bad. Chassis open warning, disabled. I can hear fans though, I don't know. Okay. What else do we got? I don't think we're out of, oh, I keep doing that. Wrong keyboard. I just bought this one because I didn't think this one worked. And I waited a whole day for the new keyboard to get here from Amazon. And it has to install drivers for it to work. And this thing ain't gonna let it do that. Fail safe, defaults, frequency. I'm just gonna have to check these because I don't remember. And the info isn't really out there either. Not easily found. I read through a bunch of forum posts. No. That's not what I was trying to do. Nothing. Okay, well that's really all I saw. Let me try here. Can you guys see this? Just kind of going through its trial and error. We'll see if it boots up. Okay, it did save what I put in earlier. Oh, there's more down here. Or if there's more in that other page. Go check here. No. Please detect it. It sounds like it's doing something. Nothing, right? Crap. I still don't know that means anything. I just don't know enough about this stupid machine. Where is the power management? Things we're looking for. Oh, would you have more? It's one of these things I know it's got to be. HDD power down. Yes, it's just about how much power level it's running. It's not really the kind of power management that we're looking for. Okay, well, let's just save and see if it'll boot this time. I did clear the Cmos settings with the little jumper on there. All I really did was change the booting, those two, instead of booting from CD-ROM, I have it from hard drive. I don't think that's going to be enough to cut it. I'm going to have to do some more research and read this manual, I think. We can cross the fingers. You never know. Oh, the torture. Let's see if I can check that one out. Where's this one at? Okay, we're about to find out. I expect that failure. Insert system disk and press enter. So I don't have it going right. That's completely obvious when I started looking at it. I've done several of these, but not this one that I can recall, and not without having the sheet right in front of me. What is going on with this stupid USB over here? Does not want to accept. That's what I was trying to do. There's my nice pretty one. That's the one I ordered and it doesn't work. It's like, oh, we gotta load these LED drivers. So crap. I'm gonna read the menu again. I can also check and see if we can throw, which I will. I'll throw the other hard drive in and see if that helps. Probably do that real fast, just because it only take a few minutes. Just see what's going on with that. We know it'll boot up right now, so we're not having the battery problem at the moment. So let me try that and hopefully it'll work. We will have to make this the end of part 1 for the Megatouch. I guess they're both Evos. I definitely have to cap the monitor, or the, not the monitor, the motherboard on this one here. This one's only got one bad cap on it that I can see, but I'm going to go ahead and cap it anyway. Both of the wiring needs to be gone through. The power's just not getting all the way around to the hard drive on this one. And this one, I've already pulled it all out trying to make this one work. So really just need to go through, button up some of this wiring, and then we can find out if the hard drives work. The motherboard is working fine on this one. We're just not getting the hard drive to boot, which still could be my fault on the BIOS settings. I looked and I just can't confirm exactly what settings to hit there. I assume I'm right. Done it a bunch of times and it's similar to that, so we have to get power first to figure out if that's right. But anyway, stay tuned for the second half of that video. Video will be coming shortly. Sorry, I had an itch. And we have, let's see, we got a couple monitors to do. Also today I need to finish this, it's really hard to see, this 55-inch TV. The Super Bowl is this weekend, or Super Game, whatever the hell I don't even say, so stupid. Copyrighted. Super Bowl. That'll help a little bit, I guess. And we can see it. Monster TV just had a problem where it would shut off right after you turn it on. I recapped the power board on it, and it still has that problem. So what I'm gonna do, I can't move it, it's so heavy. So the power board's here in the middle. What I'm gonna do is just unhook everything else, just have the power board hooked up to the wall, and then run it and see if the power board shuts off when it's hooked up all by itself. Then I know that there's still a problem in the power supply, and if it runs fine, then I'll plug in another board and another board and so on until I figure out what's going on with it. At least I can isolate it that way. And then for my fun project, I have this Pi that I built. It's inside a little Nintendo. And so I want to take this little monitor. It's like a backup camera monitor or something. It's actually a TV. You can watch DVDs on it and hook up an antenna to it. But I want to bury it inside the lid there. And then I'm still going to use controllers. Like I want to have these controllers hidden in the inside. But I want to build like a little box for the front here. I'm either going to have to figure out a way that I can slide this out. Just take it out and set it somewhere. Or I saw on YouTube the other night that they actually have joysticks where you can unscrew them from the top here and they come off right there. So that would help for this, so we can shut the lid. I got power supply. I have a power supply until I throw it on the ground. Got a power supply to run 12 volts and 5 volts. And then this is different connectors here for connecting it to the different doodads. And this is the charger. What I want to do is on the side put like a waterproof spot to plug in on the side. That way I can leave it waterproof and I don't have to like ruin the integrity of the box if I'm happy to be playing it and I'm outside or something. But then it'll be self-contained. You can just carry it around like this and play it with a battery pack. I don't know how long it'll last. I'm guessing probably like 3 or 4 hours. Well, that's good enough. I don't see myself playing games for that long anyway, but just for car rides, stuff like that, I figure it'd be fun. And then I can use it with my little test rig, and I'll have all kinds of games, and I'll be able to really test everything on a cabinet. But that's just a fun project. I don't know when I'm going to do that, if I'm even going to do that on camera, if I'll show you guys, I don't know. As soon as I mount this in the back of there, it's on. And I know how I'm going to do it. I just haven't done it yet. But anyway, plenty of stuff to go. So stay tuned and like and subscribe. See you next time. So these two right here are going to be ground and 5 volt. So what do we get here? Did I not turn the game on? I didn't turn the game on. I guess that would help. Hang on.
Here it is. A nice little trade. The person I traded got what they wanted. I got what I wanted. And a pretty good deal on it, too.
Super hang on. Get what I want.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on fire.
Whoa.
Lots of smoke.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching.
When you take care of people, people take care of you in this community.
That's the truth.
So everyone, please remember that. Even if we're competitors, we're not enemies.